Hello, students and master gardeners. We are back and we're going to be exploring today some flowers. You're working on your pollination unit, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that process, but we have to really think about what's in the flower, and we've kind of done some study of plant parts. So we think about there's the stem, and then we get up to that flower, and tucked in the flower are some really cool things, including small baby seeds and areas where pollen is stored. And then eventually, if it gets pollinated, remember, it becomes the fruit. So this is a really important part of the plant because it needs to have pollination happen right here in this cool little bundle of goods in order to get the fruit that we love to eat. So I wanted to show you, I just kind of went on a little exploration to find what flowers might be out around my house and my community. And so we have quite a variety. These were just wildflowers that are actually brassicas that came off the farm. And I have a calendula and this cool daffodil, and of course a variety of other things, some of which were just some weeds that were blooming on the side of the road. This is an example. So you might have some down in a park, or just around maybe your house or your apartment complex, or maybe you could ask a friend if they have any in their yard to share with you. Look over at this image right here, which is parts of the flower. And of course, we're familiar with the petals, right? And there's usually somewhere in the flower this longer middle piece, which has all these different parts to it, but the main name for it is the pistil. So it's going to be kind of in the center generally, and it may have a larger cavity down low that's actually going to hold all those little baby seeds. And then this part of the pistil is called the style. And finally, the top part that might have a small little opening is the stigma. And these little guys down here, which we might find a lot of or a few of, right, are going to be on the side, and you can see they're called the stamen. And the top yellow is the anther, and the bottom is the filament, which is like a long skinny piece. I want you to know that some flowers make it really easy to find, and other flowers, they're definitely more challenging. So I think we'll look at this beautiful pink flower first and take like a close look at what we could find I do see, look at all of those. Those must be the stamen. And look at how you can see on the end. Let's see if we can get any pollen on here. I don't know if you can see on my finger. It's kind of hard to see. I'll push a little harder, but see all that yellow powder? That's the pollen. Somewhere in here, let's see if we can discover a pistil hidden down. Oh, there's the central one. It's kind of hard to see. Let me keep going. Can you see how it's coming up in the middle? It even has a different color base. But in this flower, it's not super different, is it? So maybe we could just, if we were going to do a dissection, we might want to try to cut away a few of those pieces. But I think first I'm going to pull maybe some of the petals out of the way. Okay, so we're going to pull those to the side so we can see this middle part. Oh, there's the cool things that are called the sepals. Those are like the little leaves that would have had the bud wrapped up at first. Now we can really see them apart from the main leaves. So I'm going to pull these off, and then why don't we take a close look? You can either look through the magnifying glass, maybe, and see. Can you see through there? Is it clear? All right. Can you see all the little details? You can do this with your magnifying glass. And then I want to get in to see that inside part. So I might just gently break a few of those off. That's kind of easier than using the knife on this particular flower. Oh, look at what's at the bottom. Now we can really see. Let's take a close look if we can. Can you see that middle part there? Let's see. Look at that big fat part at the bottom. Do you think it matches this area here? So this must be the ovary, and I bet inside there's some little tiny seeds. And we'll take a look at up here. This one's a little different than that, right? It's just got 3 little areas, but it looks like it comes down into one main style. And so if we can, I think I'm going to try to cut this little piece open to see if we can see what's inside. And some of them it might be possible to see, and others it might not. So let's just give it a little. Oh, I think if we were to look closely, yes, can you see the little tiny dots in there? I think we've definitely discovered all those little baby seeds, which are called ovules, tucked in there, waiting to receive some pollen in the pollination process. So let's take one more look at a flower that makes it really clear. This daffodil, which is so cool, I think we'll peel this back on this one and just look at that middle part. So, just, oh, look at that. That's great. Oh my goodness. Look at all of that pollen. I'm going to get some. Oh my gosh. It's so much on there. That's exactly what the insects are going to do. We could be human pollinators too. And so the pollen is on the ends of all of these stamen. So if I were to brush like a white piece of paper, I'd probably see a lot of it. And then here's the main part again, right? Look at that pistil. Okay, we're going to bring this off to the side. This one kind of has the bigger portion right here that's like kind of going into the stem. It's not as separate. So we're going to cut this open. See if we can see anything inside. Let's take, oh yeah, cool. Look at that. You can see in that one. Look at right there where all those little white ones are. Can you see that? Those must be little teeny tiny seeds right there. Now what I could do is, remember you have a pair of tweezers. We've provided you another pair. And after I've done some close examination, and maybe you guys can see that too, I'm going to use my magnifying glass to look very, oh, I could see them so well. And then I might take my tweezers and I could grab some of those little seeds. I wonder, did I get one? I don't know. Can we see one in there? It looks like it. So I could examine all those little seeds and pull that apart. I'm going to use my tweezers also maybe to examine some of these, right? And look closely with my magnifying glass always and see, what do I see? So this is your chance to explore all kinds of different flowers. I am going to tell you that flowers that have a lot of petals like this can be a bit challenging to do, because in the center, look at, they have so many different pieces hidden. So we're going to, again, if we compare it over here, remember the stamen are the outside pieces. In the middle is that stigma. So this one, it's gonna have a lot of stamen, and then, I mean, it may even be considered multiple pistils in the middle because there's like multiple little flowers. Sometimes people call these types of flowers composite flowers because they're multiple flowers all tucked into one. And they have to be, each little one has to be pollinated. Might be a little tricky, but you guys could do some examination using your tweezers and your knife and your magnifying glass and just see what's in there. See if you can tell the difference. So I know that you're going to have fun doing this. And remember, last thing, if you can't find a flower, you saw what we did. Now you're going to take your paper flower and your little arrows and use your image of the parts of the flower, and you're going to label all the parts that you see here, because this particular flower also has the pistil and the stamen and the petals and the leaves and the stem. So you can label all of those. All right, well, thank you for being with us for this flower dissection.